Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today I would like to film another video about life in Germany, specifically about some of the cultural shocks that I have experienced since I moved to this country. If you're new to this channel, I have been living in Berlin for the past 2 years and a half. So of course some things that I would mention might be different from your side because we all come from different backgrounds and not all the things that I will mention would be shocking to you, but I think it's a very interesting topic, especially for those who are planning to move to Germany in the future and want to know more about how life is here. So let's get started. I have some notes written here, so sometimes I'm gonna be looking in my list, and let's start with the first one, which is the fact that everything is closed on Sundays. It's really that time of the week when no supermarkets, no pharmacies, no shopping malls would be open. Of course, if you go out, the restaurants, the cafes would be open, and there are a lot of people outside usually because I don't know what you can else do. I am that kind of person who usually was used to actually do all these things on Sunday. Like you clean your apartment, you go grocery shopping. And for me, once I moved here, I really had to adjust this. This is why actually it gets so crowded on Saturday, because people work during the week. And of course, if they want to go shopping, they go on Saturday as the only day possible. And it gets so full in the shopping malls that you cannot imagine. This is something that I really, every week I want to go somewhere on a Saturday. It gets crowded everywhere because people just try to rush and do all the shopping, especially for groceries. On a Saturday, if you go in the evening to buy things for the week, you might stay in the line to pay for so long because of how crowded it gets. The second factor, which actually is quite funny and not a big deal, but it was a cultural shock for me since I moved here, was how quick you should pack your things when you are in the grocery store. When you are the cashier, if you didn't have the stress and the anxiety of just packing your things in the bags, then I don't know. Let me know where you are living in Germany, because in Berlin, at least I experienced this so many times, and I feel like every time I'm experiencing this, the person that works at the cashier just scans your products so fast, and I don't know how, but you just don't have the time to pack all these things in your bags. You just have this anxiety and stress. I don't know how they do that. Point number 3 is cash. And of course, this probably really depends where in Germany you're living. And a lot of people use cash and do not accept cards, or accept cards but do not accept cash. And this thing with like paying somewhere is really a big thing for me, and something that made me quite surprised. Especially in Europe, cards are really getting more popular, and I was just used to, go with my phone and just pay with the Apple Pay or just use my card. But it happened to me so often here that in restaurants they would tell you that they do not accept cards. Or another thing is that they have another type of card which is called Expat card, which is different from the normal debit card that you would have. And sometimes they accept only this Expat card and not anything else. At the end, you just have to carry a wallet with coins, cash, one card, another card. This is really something to get used to, that you have to always carry some cash with you because you never know. When it comes to supermarkets, they tend to accept everything, cards, cash, but specifically restaurants, I feel like you could never know. It might be that they would not take your card and you will have to go to the ATM machine and take some money out. Point number 4 is the recycling culture here in Germany. I think this is something really important for German people and really something that is a part of their daily life. They are just used to recycling everything. And I actually got into this habit of, for example, recycling the plastic bottles, because on every purchase of the plastic bottle that you make, like water or any drink, you get such thing as a fund, which is usually, I think, 0.25 cents. So you have to pay extra 25 cents on top of the price of the bottle. And then if you return this bottle, you just get this money back. And you can notice here in Germany that often, like every time, people just go to the supermarkets and they have this big machines at the entrance where you can give your bottles back, and they will give you not the money, but they will give you like a ticket with the amount of money on it, and you can use it to pay in the at the exit of the grocery store. At the cashier, you just give them this ticket, they scan it, and they will deduct this amount of money from your total price. And I think it's great because you really get used to not throw plastic water bottles, but really keep them at home and just give them back whenever you go the next time to do your grocery things. At the same time, something that they always do, and that was one of the biggest cultural shocks related to recycling as well, is if you have glass bottles, for example, from beer or any other drink, they don't throw it in the bin, but they just rather put it next to the bin. So if people who are collecting bottles, homeless people, or whoever needs it for the fund, they can just pick it up and recycle it. And I think this is a very big and great thing that I was missing in the past from where I used to live. Point number 5 is the biking situation here. Biking in Berlin is like a huge cultural thing, because even though the transportation is super good, I personally think that the transportation system here in Berlin is great, and there are so many options like trams, buses, U-Bahn, S-Bahn, so many things. But still, a lot of people choose biking. For example, one of the things was that I saw some Germans going to like bars and clubs by bike, and then just the idea of biking back home after a night out just freaks me out. Like, how can you do it? I don't know. I didn't get used to, because the weather is not often the best. I can imagine cycling in summer, in spring, when the temperatures are good, the sun is shining, but they cycle here all year long. In winter, in autumn, when it's raining, snowing, they would cycle everywhere at any weather. And also on that point about the cycling situation, is that if you are just walking on the street, really be aware of the cycling lanes, because if you step 1 centimeter on the bike lane, they might just shout at you so much because you are interfering in this process. I for sure got a few shouts from people whenever I was just walking by, and the first days I was really not understanding what's happening, where can I walk, where I can't walk, and it was just so stressful for me to really like understand that here are the bikes, you cannot pass by, you cannot walk here, because they would scream at you so much if you do that. Another thing that I actually just remembered, and I didn't think about it before because now I started talking about the transportation, is that they never have anything that where you can scan tickets at the entrance. I was used to this, that in many cities and countries in Europe, whenever you enter the metro, you just have to like scan or insert the ticket, and there are this gates that open and close, you know, and you pass through them and then you can use the transportation. Here in Berlin, they don't have this thing. You can just enter and there are no checks anywhere. But the thing is that it's your kind of responsibility if you will buy the ticket or not, but they check in the trains. You never know that these people would check you. For example, there is a man or a woman entering the train and they just stand like this at the entrance. They wait until the doors of the train close and then they just scream like, "Tickets please," and they have this machine where you scan your ticket. And every time they enter, I see sometimes this, whenever they enter, they try to check, they always find those people that don't have tickets, forgot to do a stamp on it or something else, and they just tell them to exit the train and they give them the fine. I think these were just a few of the cultural shocks that I had since I moved here, and I feel like I can make a video for an hour about other things that have happened to me here during these years. Let me know in the comments what are some of the other things that you have experienced if you're planning to move here, some of the things that were surprising to you. Thank you very much for watching and see you very soon. Bye!